Hi, linear algebra students. Section 1.2, third overdetermined system. Now, this system is not similar enough to the first two that we have seen in order to justify tweaking it like what we have done for the second overdetermined system. Now we have to really start from scratch. Okay, so I'm just gonna go faster though because we are used now to the process. So 1, 2, 1, 1. We have 1, 3, 3, negative 1. We have 1, 1, negative 1, 3. And the constants, they're always the easiest to read. 1, 4, 5, negative 3. Okay, well, at the very least, the first column is very similar. But what's going to happen after is going to be different. So, we have this pivot over here. I'm going to circle it just for fun. And we're going to make these all to 0. Okay, so here goes. Row 2 minus 2 row 1 becomes row 2. Row 3 minus row 1 becomes row 3. And finally, row 4 minus row 1 becomes row 4. Okay, 1, 1, 1, and 1. The only row that doesn't change. So this becomes 0, 1, 1 minus 2. So negative 1. 4 minus 2, that's 2. And we have here 0, 3 minus 1, 2, negative 2. And we have 4, there you go. And finally 0. Here we have negative 2. 3 minus 2, that's 2. And negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Oh, now there's a lot that's going on. Look at this very carefully, okay? If you were to notice only that these two are opposites of each other, then you could just do row 4 plus row 3 becomes row 4 and cancel the last row. But you actually have more than that. Look at the second row. These two rows, row 3 and row 4, are both multiples of the second row. Anyways, even if you don't see this at all, your aim is to transform this into a pivot. It's a 1, so you like that. So you want to make these two things to be zeros, but foresee that it's all going to crush down to a bunch of zeros. Here we go. Row 3. Row 3 minus 2, row 2 becomes row 3. And finally, we have row 4 plus 2, row 2 becomes row 4. Okay, so now we're going to put the arrow over here. I think I'm going to change my habit a little bit. I think I'm not going to put this arrow over here. Okay, the arrow that's on the bottom. So, first and second row do not change. 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, negative 1, 2. And then let's just make sure that everything crushes down. It should be like very fast calculations. 2 minus 2, 0. Negative 2 plus 2, 0. 2 minus 4, 0. Okay, good. And, okay, well, negative 2 plus 2, 0. 2 plus negative 2, 0. And finally, negative 4 plus 4, 0. Here we go. So looking at this, look. These are your pivots. And what I want you to notice also is that this third column doesn't have a pivot, okay? Because there's no way to make a pivot here without with only the rows that are below, right? These are all rows of 0, so there's no way you can create a pivot over here, okay? So this means that this matrix is in REF, meaning we proceed to backward phase. Okay? So the backward phase, the only one thing we really need to do is to make a 0 here on top of the second pivot. So what we're going to do here is row 1. Row 1 minus row 2 becomes row 1. So, all right, the 2 rows of zeros, I'm going to write them immediately. As well as this second row that is also not changing. The only row that's changing is the first one. So we're having 1, 0. 1 minus negative 1 is negative 2. And finally, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And this is the matrix that I gave you in your notes. So this is how we reach that matrix. All right, see you either in class or in the next video.